Sorry, that was loud. It's been a while since I blew my whistle, but we call the meeting to order today in the gym. And thank you all for coming. Sorry about that. I tested it in the car and I had music going and it was not that loud.
Not as loud.
All right, well, it is the August 18th rescheduled meeting from the 4th, right? And got the three of us here. First order of business is the 3 meeting minutes to review. We got May 19th, June 16th, and July 14th. I can't remember which one. I was ready to make a motion on the last one. I know I can do the July 14th, I thought looked good.
So you have to do each meeting because each one of you needs to sign on the different ones because some weren't there and some were.
So I'll make a motion to approve the May 19th minutes. Do you want me to do all 3?
I was gonna make a motion for all 3 because I was at all 3
I thought
meetings.
she meant that
Because that makes it easier.
All right, no, go ahead.
So I'll make a motion
withdraw
to approve all 3, because you were at the May, you could have done the May. And
Yeah.
Too. But I'll make a motion to approve all 3 meeting minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All against? None. Nice job, Harley. We now have 3 months of approved minutes.
Behind us, finally.
Yeah, vacations are over. All right, do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
Martin would like to go first.
Up first for
Good.
Martin, we got tax rate, employee policy. Brent is here for. Brent, are you looking to get on?
I can be here, I can go, yeah, I got some items to bring out at some point.
For the public?
Yeah. Well, one of them is official, business, so then other stuff, nothing is going to require a decision tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we have all 3 of us. Scott, you're not into the end of this year.
Just here to listen.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming. So I guess first up, Martin. You're ready to go? I got your email.
This is the first for me here. Let's see. I sent you an email. I just sent it to you like only an hour ago, so no one else here knows what was going on. But I made up these handy info. Made it for the further.
Is this what you apply to?
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yep. This is an addition.
Oh, okay.
You want one? A further table, or should I give it to them?
Yeah, we can look at one. You can take it back with you.
I need my own, if they want one. That's all. I stand up here and talk to you? Sit in the chair. I'm entertaining a lot better.
Yeah.
Echo me or my hearing aids.
So, yeah. Whatever's comfortable for you. You want to
I would say first, just take a minute and read the first page, because that sort of summarizes what I'm doing next.
Do you know, is this the same initiative that the planning board applied to 2021?
I don't know, I don't believe so, but I don't.
I think it is. Looks like
What was the application for back then?
we were looking to form a village trust and look into, we had Chuck Gallagher willing to, I don't know if it was donate or sell the Morrison house next door to the Brown's Bistro to the town. Yeah, it came together quickly, but we got invited to apply, but then were turned down. And then they wanted to come back and possibly do that project again. They called us and told us they really liked our application. And that's why when I saw your email and I saw it's a village trust, I was like, oh, maybe there has an offer on it.
It could be the same thing, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But this one, in the July planning commission meeting, we're updating the town plan. We were on the economic development chapter, and I sort of have a bee in my mind about that. Everyone kind of wants to see the revitalization of downtown. There's all sorts absolutely nothing can happen until you get some infrastructure in there. You know, it needs sewer and it needs parking. And so that was something that I was trying to work with the planning commission. And in July, Nicole Bradley from the Vermont Village Trust, she's here, and she did check to see if she could sit in, because they are doing projects, and they're funding projects of 20 towns in Vermont, villages in Vermont. And they didn't have one in Caledonia County, so she took me to get one in Caledonia. And she was listening to this whole conversation around the wastewater, and I asked her, does that fit, does that meet the criteria? And she says it absolutely does. They're doing something similar in a different town. I don't know which town it was. So it's, she said submit the application, but the application is due in a few weeks, so it's a very short notice. But it's a very simple application. And nothing, all we need right now is a vague plan and the support of the select board.
Do you have any notion about whether the amount of money that is available is adequate to do
It's not
that?
adequate for the whole project.
Okay.
What is the
What would it,
hot project at this point?
So, well, what I'm, you know, this has all been in the works for, you know, a few days now. So it's pretty loosey-goosey, but ideally is to get, we need to get some, you know, public sewer, wastewater. Otherwise, nothing can happen in town. We'll never get a restaurant in here because you can't seat enough people.
right?
You know, some of the buildings here have no septic, so, and then there's no parking if you didn't get a restaurant. So there's I have one of the attachments here is my write-up, my draft write-up for the town plan, which sort of summarizes what I'm thinking. But it's basically putting some sort of the town owns the land across the river. And part of that is a floodplain, but that aside, either putting in a small municipal mound system or a mechanical wastewater treatment. And then, you know, big enough to handle 100%, not the whole town, just here. And so there are two options: a mound system, which would be probably cheaper, definitely cheaper to do, but it does enough. Mound systems do nothing to take ammonia or nitrogen out of the wastewater, and that's becoming a bigger and bigger issue in Vermont. Well, the mechanical plant, which is more expensive, it's all this portable water coming out, so that can just go right into the work, no problem. So just to apply for the grant, I just want to get the application in. I'll be firming things up. I needed a letter sort of from the select board endorsing it, and all that says is we'd be happy to support this if someone wants to, you know, come in and spend money to help us improve our downtown. There's no commitment on the side of the town or the select board or anything like that. It's just saying, like the idea, and we'll go. And then the other thing is that they need is an endorsement from the landlord of whatever property the project would take place on. Because typically it may be an old building, a historic building, or renovate or something like that. In this case, it would be property the town owns, and it would be to build some sort of a treatment plant, treatment facility.
So is that like right next to the Clark's Landing building, or where is
Is
it?
that right next to it?
The Clark's Landing,
Well, that's a lot. That's an 8-acre lot is the street. And the official 911 address
oh,
for
so
that,
it's on this side of the river?
on the other side.
Oh, on the other side of the river, okay.
And the official, the 911 address is 162 Clarkson.
And do you know, like, the time frame? I
The
mean,
grant has to, you got 4 years.
Who is the community trust?
so that would
Who is the community?
that would give time to get other grant money.
This afternoon, I just came up with that name.
What?
You'll have, so far, probably should have at least 3 people on that, counting members. You could have those.
So, Mike, I'm really concerned about this. I think the dollar amount of funding they have is gonna be sufficient for like a study.
Exactly. It's-
So like the offering of any land is not a,
There's no commitment to offer. It's
it's just,
Saying that
it corners us into that. When, you know, there's other places maybe, I would rather like someone look at the problem as a whole and say, here's like what the solutions could be and what they may cost, and then put it to like a town vote, instead of starting a process that I feel this is a big step for
Whether
people.
that additional grant could fund that study. We're not-
Yeah, as long as the expectation
This
is,
doesn't lock the town in.
yeah.
This just gets us through. the-
So with this initial money, it would help do the research and R&D, and then there would possibly be other,
I'm not comfortable signing this tonight. I would need way more of an idea of what this project is.
What's the deadline for the application?
September 9th.
Yeah, I think you're, probably want to look to next year, honestly. It's what I would do, because like these initiatives get funded pretty much annually or biannually if they're
This
for
is
bigger
the
states.
last thing.
Well,
September 9th is the last one.
well, this year, then it gets funded again. That's what they told us the last time too.
This
So then-
one says this is the last year on the website.
Well, I still think it's way too close call. Like I wouldn't vote for signing this at all.
So,
But you're not committing to anything.
and,
I don't know what it is I'm signing or what we're doing. I would like to see like more of a work plan and an idea of what the outcome is going to be. I think.
from, I've read this really quickly, but no, that's okay. From what I'm looking at, the only thing that we would be theoretically doing is agreeing not to do something else with this property from 1 year from now, is that right?
Yeah, it's unusual. That is the letter, that's from a template of theirs.
Okay.
And it's usually geared towards a private landowner that owns a building that this is going to happen. In this case, I wordsmithed it to make it appropriate, more appropriate for the town.
So
It's just
that
saying you are a landowner.
so what I was trying to understand, this is why I was trying to figure out exactly where it is whether this is property that we had contemplated doing something with, which we don't have funding for anyway yet,
Yeah.
related to, enhancing the park property over there?
It is that property, but we.
But I don't think in
it's
a
on the-
year's-
It's on the parcel, so depending on where you're going, there is a conservation easement on that property. So there's a 2.2 acre or I believe it's 2.2 acre conservation easement, because Clark's Landing, the senior living, when they built there, they could not have floodplain property and under their insurance policy, so they had to carve off a parcel, donate it to the town. The town took ownership of it. It's the land that's hayed underneath Clark's Landing.
That's
So
what I
that
thought.
has a conservation easement on it. Like they actually send an email every 5 years and ask if, well, what's going on that property, and has it changed since the last time we've emailed you? Yeah. So there's that, just keep that in mind. But the old stump dump parcel, when we got the Green Mountain Power property, the state wanted us to put a restriction on both of those parcels, the existing stump dump and the Green Mountain Power property, for recreation, outdoor use only in perpetuity, just like the rail bed basically. And what we asked is that since we used the stump dump property or the old stump dump, for so many different reasons, the helicopter pad, the dry hydrant, we asked to not have that restriction on it. So that property is, even though it has a sign, this is Gateway Park and a trailhead, that property does have open, like to town discussion use, for purposes that helps the town. But then just under Clark's Landing is the spot that you've got to look out for. I have the map of that easement somewhere.
I think there are a couple other parcels that the town owns. This
There are.
one was the biggest one, it was right, the closest to across the street, so I picked that. If there was another one abutting it that is more suitable, we could But it's, the thing is, this isn't a commitment to do anything.
Right.
I give you my 2 cents. Groton's fading away, going away, because of, we got a plan commission that brings stuff, tries to do stuff, and then the state puts up red flags and all of this. We got a beautiful town, and we got so much potential with the forest, with Sion, with, we don't have 30, 40, 50, what if at the beginning people were, oh, we can't do that because we're committing ourselves to too much. Take a chance once in a while. Try to move the town forward. And the state puts a lot of blocks on us, but when we get people in here that want to move it forward and bring it back, I mean, I'm older. This town was booming back when I was a kid. You know, I thought there was a lot here. And
This was a fairly wealthy.
yeah, you know, over the years, all we've done is brought some housing into Groton that should have never been brought here, in my opinion. But if we keep going the rate we are, you can say bye to Groton. People can have their camps around the lake. I don't know how that will work, but
Do anything for the town.
but it's doing nothing for the town, and we can't bring business in because there's all these stipulations, and you got to have people behind it that want to move it forward. I
Sounds
mean,
like you're one of those people that wants to
And-
get
but-
behind it and move it forward.
and
I agree there's a need, I just need more.
but we can't. But
like,
we
detail.
we just keep putting stuff off. Move forward. Make the town a place, a destination people want to come to. Have a few shops, which we're starting. We got Jody down here. We're the town. We've got people in town that really care about their property. You drive up through. There's far and few, but we got people that want to be here that have come and spent some money. And I think we have to, I'm not saying we have to sign this tonight, but if we need a week to think about it or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I would digest it. I would
And-
did not
and-
expect to walk out of this with.
And we got people that want to, but to have a meeting after a meeting, I've been on the select board, this will be my 3rd year. Nothing moves forward. We talk about stuff. Do it. You never know if you made the right decision. Sometimes you have to try stuff and do it, and then you move forward. If you,
I'm brand new on the planning commission, a few months, but one thing I've done is introduce a new term that Brent seems to like, red light and green light thinking, which is, I've used it all my life in managing big projects for, in the corporate world. And you go into a meeting and red light, most people come into those and it's red light thinking, all the reasons you can't do something.
yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
You can always come up with a reason to put it off, so you don't have to make a decision that you might be held accountable to. But what happens if I don't make the right decision? Nothing usually.
Nothing. You move on to the next
one.
one.
Is, okay, we want this to happen, let's make it happen. But you gotta get out there and get started,
Yeah.
you gotta go for it. And if you just, you wanna say,
Right.
next year, it's never gonna happen.
Do you want to know my full 2 cents on this? This is not the right organization to go to start this process, and the right organization is the Vermont DEC. Like my colleagues, formerly I worked there for a decade. I looked into this quite a bit while I was there, because I was like, oh, I know a lot of people. These people grant money out and know about
What
these
is it, the
programs.
Vermont
DEC.
DEC?
And you start there, there's all sorts of funding for starting these studies, like going to people's homes, testing their water, and finding out like, oh shoot, their wells are fouled. They have a problem.
DEC?
Department of Environmental Conservation. But there's so many different resources for funding for this. This is probably a good, I think you're really tight on time, honestly.
Tight on time to get the application. The application doesn't commit us to doing it. It doesn't mean I can't at the same time go to
Like a
DEC.
scope, we're getting a scope together that costs that is interesting.
I would really like to green light facilitating being able to apply for this grant. It sounds like maybe a different parcel needs to be identified because of the conservation easement. And maybe we could get,
I think you should get a real education on the process of setting one of these up before we attack it. it's a long, arduous, it's a lot of work, and there's a design that goes in that is sometimes like millions of dollars even for the small ones. And you have to know where the need is, where the soils are correct, like with the way water flows down this hill here, I think it is the other side of the river, but I don't know, right? Who the people that know are, probably Brent knows a lot about digging on the other side of the river and what kind of soil's there, but it's like engineers and geotechnical going out borings and stuff. It's a whole
Just people sucking us dry
process.
with more rules and regulations. That's all that is, Montpelier.
But aren't there, isn't this organization that we're applying to want to provide a lot of help and assistance?
Yeah, they do. They do provide a lot of expertise and consulting. And, the money they offer, it's not enough for the project. It won't.
No, that's what,
Not even 10 times that, Rob.
Yeah, good chance. But it will allow us to take the first step and start looking into it.
I'd want to know more about what we're going to do. What like if they're going to help us grant write for more grants for design and things like that, maybe it's a good idea, but I'd just like to see what the scope is. And I'd say you've got the green light to keep working on this and coming back. When's our next meeting? Do we go back to 2 meetings?
Next meeting's too late.
yeah.
September 1st?
September 1st?
So September 1st, yeah, I'm not signing this meeting. You guys can vote, if you want to make a motion to vote, yes, that's fine. I'm not going to sign this. It doesn't say enough here for me at all. And I have a lot of concerns that this is just like a knee-jerk thing, and there's a lot more better ways and funding sources of people who can provide you with a lot of expertise. This organization, Nicole, or I think Nicole or Michelle reached out to me, I think in June, or before the day in our community, she'd reached out to me and asked about if we were interested in doing the project with the Morrison House again. And I was like, oh, I'm not on the planning board anymore, but I would talk to the landowner. And so the day in our community, I talked to Chuck. He made no indication he was putting the property on the market, but he was somewhat interested, and I told him to try and catch up with you guys at the next meeting. I told Nicole to reach out to the planning commission and see if there was still interest there too.
Yeah, that's probably why she called. So
yeah, well, it's definitely enticing when they're like, oh, we haven't awarded money in your county and want to. That's like,
I'll take money.
so.
The whole thing is, and she stressed it, we're not committed to anything by doing this. This just gets the application. Doesn't mean the application's approved, doesn't mean we have to follow through on the application. It just gets the application submitted.
And
There's no commitment.
I'd have to see. I don't know. This isn't enough for me. Is this enough for you guys to say just yes to going for this?
Well, I want to facilitate them being able to apply for the grant. I don't think by endorsing applying for the grant that we're committed to
Doesn't commit us to a path.
doing anything.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I think the letter that you wrote is too strong. It's too much of a commitment of Mike or whoever would sign it, saying, we want the additional parking in the Veterans, we're gonna take over Veterans Park and do parking. This is really strong. Yes, it's in the letter. I know, but I just mean him signing that is a strong thing for him to sign. And creating additional public parking in the process, which then you lay out to be the park. The second paragraph of the first letter. Revitalize our village center with addition of infrastructure, the infrastructure being a small, it's very straightforward.
I didn't even read that.
That's exactly what you want. You as one person in this town signing off as select board. I think that's a lot to ask of the chairperson.
It says, okay, all it says is, with the addition of infrastructure being a small municipal wastewater treatment system and creating additional public parking in the process, period. It doesn't say anything about the park, the Americans, or anything like that. It's just.
Right, and that's all implied in everything else you have here. That's just my opinion.
The write-up that I did, that's in the town planning. I did that so that
I just
after you read through it,
one of you guys can sign it. There's also just no proposal.
I know, this is a letter of support that he is 100% on board with the trust going forward with putting in a mound system or whichever system you do and taking over somewhere for parking, which you've identified as only being the Veterans Park.
Problem. If you see one of the trace, you get a better utilization of that lower lot. You wouldn't even see it from the road.
I'm not saying for or against it, I'm just saying it's really straightforward, him saying that's what the town wants to do.
Yeah, and there's
And I
no
think the town would
proposal
wanna
here
talk about
either.
that.
So it's like if someone saw this letter and they're like, I want to see the proposal, there's nothing. So it's like I signed a proposal. I just told, I won't personally sign. Someone can sign this on my behalf or something, or on the select board's behalf, but I won't vote yes yet. I think I'll encourage you to keep looking and keep like, and come back to us on the 1st with a proposal. But I think this was way.
I'm not gonna do any engineering studies between now and then.
No, well, so what is the, when you saw, have you ever applied for a grant before?
Yes, but it was in the corporate world.
So when you apply for a grant, you have like the things in place that are great for applying, like, yeah, we're working on our plan, our town plan, and here's some quotes from it, and we support all this, but it's gonna ask what you're going to be doing with the funding. It's not gonna be like, they're just not like, here's $400,000, because you're.
I understand that.
But you're gonna have to provide a work scope and a proposal to them, and you don't have to give them specific numbers, but you can be like, X amount for this and X amount for that, and there are outcomes that are tied, just like in the corporate world, there's outcomes tied to each one. There's nothing here that says what, I know what you're trying to do, but I could just vocally tell you that I think this is a good initiative, and if you can put a proposal together that's something a little more like substance and a little more time to review. That's why I said.
It'll be in the next version's town plan.
All right, that's why I'm telling you next year we should apply for this. I'm not kicking the can down the road, guys, but there is nothing here for us to sign.
Yeah, but there's no commitment that you be signed. It's just so that I can get an application and they can help me then clean up the next phase.
You're asking, though, the town. I mean, do you guys have a different opinion? I've come to the town with grant things where I've come with full-blown, here's exactly what we're gonna do with the money, and then we've talked back and forth and said, we don't think you should do gates. So we took those out of the we ended up putting in after. Things like that. So, you know what I mean? Like, this was laid on us way too quickly.
Can I ask you?
I'm still brand new to this process, so I am, I'm optimistic and idealistic.
Can I
I'll
ask
stick
you?
with this for a while longer and get frustrated with it.
Can I ask a question? Is the level of detail that's in the letter something that, was there a template that you were going by?
The select board letter is a template.
Okay. Because I was wondering if it were to say instead, the addition of infrastructure, and if we were articulating.
That's my wording.
Okay, thanks. That's part of it. That's why I was trying to understand how much of it was template and how much of it was. If the letter talked about examining options for a water treatment system, rather than saying we're doing it, would that still fit enough detail?
Good chance. I'll certainly, I can inquire and certainly modify this.
I want to know what the outcome is going to be. Like, what are we doing, and what? And
Well, I mean, I think if we acknowledge that this amount of money is only adequate to do a study about it, then we wouldn't know the ultimate outcome now, because we would obviously need to find more funding sources to go forward. So we can't know the outcome now.
I make a motion, there's not enough information to make any action on this letter, and I'm done talking about it. I don't see any reason why we should sign something for, literally, there's nothing here that tells me it's not enough. This isn't, I'm not, I wanted to be encouraged, but I'm not. Like, I think sorry.
Can you repeat, because I'm not sure what your motion, if it is a motion or just a
There's
statement.
not enough information here. We weren't given enough time, and there's not enough information here to make a decision on this matter.
There's enough information there to file an application. That's what it says.
I don't think there is. Does anyone have any idea how much it costs to study wastewater treatment systems here? Does anyone?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Not even a dollar amount, so we don't know. It could be more than that. It could be
Yeah.
$20,000, and we could be doing, we don't know what.
But even if we,
Oh, well.
and if we got the grant and immediately, once we tried to bid it out, found that there was nobody that would do it for that amount of money, then we just wouldn't use the funds.
Yeah,
Right?
that
That's
makes
what-
terrible relationships with community organizations that grant money to you. That makes for really terrible, like, then they wouldn't even grant us money if we had no idea what we were spending it on. So this is just not enough. I'm sorry, just can't, I cannot
do
make a
we-
decision on
They
this.
said that she specifically said, you do not need a detailed plan, all you need is an idea to submit to that. It's, no one's committed, the town's not committing it.
I'm not sure what I'm committing to. That's my problem.
You're
I'm
not
committing to
anything at
question
this
mark at this point. I don't know what. That's the problem. And I was given no time. It was sent to me an hour ago.
No, I understand that too. I mean, this is all just unfolding now.
No, my motion continues.
Well, can we,
So you guys
can we
take
There's no-
think about it for
There's
2
no,
weeks?
there's no second to the motion, so it dies for lack of a second.
Well, I was just going to ask if there was a second, so
Okay, sorry.
I'll pull my motion off the table, but we're going to keep discussing this. I will continue to tell you that there's not enough information here for me here to sign anything.
Okay.
Sorry.
When Martin comes back with an updated letter, not a
Perfectly
specific-
fine, or, just keep in touch with what you're thinking for it. I mean, I know that the parking, if the SE group did that master plan, and they had thought that intersection was gonna cost about this much money as well, the slip.
I know the answer, and that's,
Yeah, the slip intersection, Flag Street, and they thought the redesign alone on that was gonna be $500,000, and that there were V-Trans grants for that we should apply for. And that would open up some space for parking, right?
that's all, this is all, this is day one. But it's,
I think you gotta come back with a better plan. Sorry, guys, I don't know. I support, Martin, I think you're awesome. I think you've got a great work ethic and that you're up for this task, believe me, but I just don't think there's, I can tell you, I can go for it and come back with a more like concrete idea, talk to wastewater
I think you're
experts.
overthinking it, personally.
No, I think you have a lot ahead of you when you apply for
I know.
grants. Well, I just want to make sure that we have enough, like when you apply for the grant, they have enough information, that they're going to pick you. And I'm concerned that,
I had today to put this together. Imagine what I could do if I had a week.
so in 2 weeks, can you come back to us with a better,
Not if it can be wordsmith, but it's not going to be, it won't have any more technical detail, it won't have hard numbers, and it won't have anything like that.
I won't vote yes for this. You guys can make motions.
What would you do? We need sewer, we need water, the town, the village.
I'm not prepared to have
No,
this conversation. I
no.
looked into it like 6 years ago, and there are so many. You would start with the rural water, whatever
But
the
there's a
rural
big
water
mountain, you
council
feel
is.
like there's such a mountain to climb that
No,
we
it's
don't
just-
even start climbing it?
You have to start somewhere, but I don't. These folks who have done one wastewater system, why would you start here? These
don't
guys
know.
do
I
like
don't know.
ranges and like country stores. I mean, it's great they're offering their money for other community problems. I appreciate that what they're trying to do, but I think like they're.
Which town are they putting the balance system to help fund that and help them drive that? Walk up, they're working.
They're going through a nightmare with their system right now. Look up the BT Digger articles on Walkup and tell me you want to
No,
go
I'm
down that
not.
rabbit hole. I just want to make sure.
How do you start this process and get moving forward without,
You start with
you
like,
can't start with all the numbers today. You know?
I know, but
It's my feeling, is my
Yeah.
feeling, you know?
I would support a great letter and a great proposal.
Yeah.
right
No,
now,
I'm not.
Is what I'm telling you. It's just not prepared.
Well-
It's just this isn't enough for me to say. oh, I feel very confident about this. I don't know what I'm saying yes to here at all. It's just,
I mean, at times, we've applied for other grants, like that fish hatchery thing over, or whatever it is, over on Railroad Street. We had meetings over it, and we said okay to apply, as long as town doesn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And we said that over and over and over again. They came, that Emily came many, many times to the meeting, and select board, different select boards have said, as long as it doesn't cost the town any money, yes. So, I mean, and so she was able, whoever was doing it was able to apply. So I don't know if applying with the covenant that we're not gonna spend any money at this time until we know more, could be a possibility to apply. I don't know. And September 1st is still in time to apply by September 5th.
so here's the letter I submitted to the town for them to sign in May 25th, 2024, when we last applied for this particular grant with the Village Trust Initiative. And we were looking to, so on behalf, we expressed interest in the community, blah, blah, blah. The town and numerous citizen volunteers have taken steps to make improvements to our village district. Recent initiatives include the award of the Voric grant to make improvements across Vermont Trail and on municipally owned property that will accentuate connections between the extensive recreational trail system and Groton, blah, blah, blah. The town was recently awarded funds to invest in new street trees and received the watershed grant with knotweed. Members of the board, town employees, citizens, and volunteers worked cooperatively to develop a plan.
That's to the Village Trust Initiative?
This was to the select board. Members of the community are very interested in continuing to explore new initiatives to revitalize the village district. There are currently vacant commercial and residential properties located within the heart of the village district. It is reported that one residential property has been vacant for over 50 years. We understand the Village Trust Initiative program could provide resources to assist our community in developing consensus on a vision, specific plans to further stimulate historic preservation, economic opportunity, and we appreciate your consideration of the town of Groton for participation in the initial round in the Village Trust Initiative. So are you looking at the initial round? Is that?
This is.
Oh, that was.
We're at square zero. So this is initial.
I mean, here's weekend. Yeah, we looked into their other initiative too,
They don't, mentioning parks and trails in there.
that was a different one actually.
Yeah, they don't fund parks and trails and stuff like that.
No, that was in our letter to the Vermont, to the Village Trust people. I thought it was a letter to the select board, but we were saying that we had been awarded another grant. They do like ranges, and I'm trying to remember the. Anyway, I still don't think there's enough here. I know we have to get going on this, but fine. But I don't see a plan or anything, and this is too quick for me. So I still continue to at least not be able to support signing this letter. But you can make motions to not sign the letter and other things if you'd like. But I mean, if my motion would be, I support Martin's effort, and I support you to continue to look into this and provide a better letter at the September 1st.
What would the
select board meeting.
If you tell
That's my motion.
what would make the letter better? How
More
how can I
detail.
write that?
More detail. We can work with you on that, but I don't.
I don't think you want more details in that letter because you don't want to commit to details. I think you want to keep it vague and say,
Right.
hey, we're happy if someone's willing to spend money in our town and we don't have any commitment. That's all that.
But the projects are all really expensive.
Right.
That's why I'm
I
kind of
would
like.
support a letter or an approach that was open-ended in the sense that we were looking for funds in order to be able to examine what options there are for a water treatment system without making any commitment that we're going to do it, because I don't think we
I
could
can
without
easily
finding a whole bunch more grants.
Yeah. There has to be more. I mean, I don't know.
But
I'll send you what I sent to the select board when we were doing, just
But I
so
agree with
we
Martin
have.
that the more detail you put in here, it's kind of like what
I'm
Harry
not
was
trying,
saying.
I'm saying there's a lack of detail altogether, like the parking and wastewater treatment system. I just,
I just don't think you could
What's-
get to the detail without already knowing what you wanted to do. And our point is, we don't know what we want to do
The
yet.
project description and the application is, it's, I think, 4 sentences.
Yeah.
so when the community trust starts something, right? What if they start a wastewater treatment plant? Then what, you know, like, because these community trusts, and the way I've worked with them, like the East Calais store, right? They form a community trust. They're like, our store is closed. What are we gonna do? Now we have to drive to North Calais to get food or whatever, wherever the other places are. Maple Corner, I think I know Calais a little bit. So they're like, all right, we'll buy the store. A bunch of us will get on a board, we'll buy the store. And then they run the store, they build it back up, run the store, they lease it out to people, but that trust always stays there. So that's the other thing I was gonna question, was what the trust is and what it's, I don't understand how that works.
They don't
either.
work with, they can't give grants to these municipalities. They can't give it to the town. So they need a private entity to be the go-between and go. But this is this is a municipal project on municipal land. No issue with that. It's just getting, going through the initial phases of this.
Well, it could very well that would not prove that it's going to be good, but they just want something that we can say, this is what we're planning. And, when I come in here tonight and speak with you, you may say, well, that's a good plan, but we're not interested. Okay, this has to be a different way. And I think most of this money, I took it was basically for planning and figuring out how the feasibility of it.
Like we did with the park project.
Right, well, that's all that, when you hear it, all they do is study these things to death, that's what they do. Yeah, I agree with Larry, I'd love to just get the shovel on the ground, but, you gotta follow this course, and, there's no proposal here, I still, my motion, Martin, my motion continues to be, I will not sign this tonight, but you could come back September 1st with like a plan that you guys you agreed to. Are we gonna come to an agreement on a letter right now? We've talked about this for 44 minutes now.
So, okay, I will.
I mean,
Think about it, digest it.
I think really look into the process. I'll send you our application. We have sent into, I'm sure I screenshotted everything I submitted so that the town had a copy of it. We didn't have a community trust at the time. We were trying to form one with their funding and assistance and then plan to purchase something from Chuck, but that was our plan. So we didn't have, all we had to sign off was, the letter was from Chuck saying, if you guys form a trust, blah, 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 and everything comes together, I'd be willing to sell or give the
That's
money.
sort of the site, the land site is the second letter from Lewis because it's a municipal property. So there's no landowner right there, so it has to be the town. Okay, if this thing happens, we would buy the lease on it.
And I guess the other hurdle to me is, has the Groton Community Trust actually been created?
No.
Right.
So it seems like that would be
That was
important.
that's what, fifth question.
Yeah.
I emailed Nicole today
Okay.
about what is.
What's involved in that?
The applicant says either a trust or just a community group. It didn't, and I asked her, what's the legal,
Okay.
does this have to be a legal entity?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Okay.
I think it absolutely does.
Because I think
And
that would
even
be
if it's
really
not a
important.
legal entity, I think, from what I remember in the past, that to make a committee, a town, something, that it needs approval, like people can't just go around making, the Groton blah, blah, blahs now, right? Like, so that would be number one step, is be set up what your committee is, and it's approved.
But we've had one prior, right?
I've never heard of one.
No?
Yes, Groton General.
Groton General?
Groton General. There was a community action group, corporation that developed and helped get things going.
So, but then that still probably was set up, select board, everything it got actually set up where you're jumping in like one step ahead.
No, they will facilitate all of the process of setting it up.
This is to get the funding to help set this whole thing up.
I understand that, but what is setting up this trust, this community group?
I wouldn't do that to see
And
what.
that's what I was saying about, like, now all of a sudden a community group that.
I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't
is
happen,
to
but I
do, like,
just,
the
that
wastewater
would be
study
the
that
number
the
one.
town should
Yeah.
do, probably. I mean,
So what was your idea when you applied for the grant? How was that trust going to be set up?
I was given an hour and 44
No,
minutes
no, no,
to
he's
think
talking
about
about
it.
previously when you were, aren't you?
Oh, they
talking
were
about
gonna,
previously?
we told them outright, we don't have a trust, we're not gonna have one in time for the application. And we said we would set one up, and here's what we have ready. We have a group that's willing to start a trust. We have a select board that's willing to, at the time, and this project was, the only thing we needed the select board to be a part of was to, when the house goes from Chuck to the trust, it actually goes to the town first as part of the process. It's a weird thing. And so that's what we needed the town support for. We weren't asking, there's no skin for the town really, right? Other than a property going off the tax rolls and into a community group's sort of hands. And so that was the town's role with that. We needed the town support basically just for a letter of support, I think. But we told them we did not have a trust and that we would form one. We would basically, like, we have this, we have a willing landowner, we have a planning board that's willing to work with everyone, and a select board that is behind this specific effort to try and either acquire that property or, make something useful with those two buildings. Yeah.
And that's all I'm looking for is a letter of support, which is to look to further the business.
I verbally will tell you can further look into it.
No point in going back and forth.
I just thought then,
Put it on the agenda for September 1st.
yeah, that's what we'll do.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, Martin.
All right, what do we have next?
The tax.
Oh, the tax rate. All right, Carrie and Lisa.
So I handed you the tax rate sheet. I mean, it's been in your folder for the last few weeks to look at. This one has the final grand list figure that I saw today. And I don't know if Dorothy gave it to me or not, but anyway. So we start here at the top with the receipts from the state of Vermont. It's the pilot money for land, pilot money for the buildings, and then the current use. So this is the tax money that we don't get from state-owned property. This is what we get instead. And
What
then
is that current use?
the current use is people who put their land and they get it reduced on their tax bill. And this is a little bit of money to make up for that difference that we normally would get in taxes from people, but
Okay,
they put it into current use and now we get this figure.
okay.
It all comes from the state. We get it in November 1st, end of October. So that figure, 156,000 would come off of what we need to raise in taxes. The fund balance for the year, that's just information. And the rest is the anticipated revenues that the town brings in. The select board decided to use the 124,000 from the fund balance for all the year's fund balance. And then, as you can read each one, it's the little bit of money that the office brings in, or the FAST, or the sheriff tickets. All that comes down to the 167,720, and then you add that to the 156 up top. So the town, the general fund's tax rate, tax amount that they need to collect is reduced by the 323,720, the figure in red. And then we're on to the highway. It's the same setup. That's just information, their fund balance. And then they get state money for the highways, for the class 2 and 3 roads. And then the select board decided to use $141,650 of the fund balance. So that brought it to the $213,650. So the two figures in red come off of what was budgeted for this year and voted on and approved at town meeting. The next section is the original amount of what 2026's budget is for the general fund and the highway. The veterans exemption is the 240,000 figure. So that's where the town, the state lets you do 10,000, the voters approved 40,000 years ago. So that's the difference that needs to be made up to give the veterans their exemption. Then you get to the bottom. This is what the education rates, the non-resident and the resident rates, not the rates, but how much their grand list is. And then the towns, the two figures from above, the 519. So that's the 519 and the 358. That's what our whole budget is, minus the revenues that we say we're going to take in. So this is the amount of money that we need to collect in taxes at the bottom, $2,197,000 to pay the school and to pay the town and highway. So then the second page is doing the calculations. You take what needs to be raised in money, the 519, that's the figure over here at the bottom that we just went over. You divide it by the grand list, and it gets the tax rate, the town general fund tax rate of 0.3942. Same thing, the highway, what needs to be raised in money for their budget, divided by the grand list, and you get their tax rate, 0.2717. Then put all that into this first box. So it's the education rates that come right from the state, gets downloaded right into the system. So you got the homestead, which is the resident rate, the non-residential rate. You add everything up together. So the middle part is all the same because non-resident and resident pay the same amount, same rate to the town. So they're not charged more for highway or general fund. It's just the education rates are different, which this year the education rate is less for non-residents. So the resident total tax rate is 2.6557, and non-residents is 2.6025. So it's actually lower for non-residents.
Can you say the
The non-one? 2.6025. And then we just keep the last two rates here on the sheet so you can compare, which I wrote on a sticky. So the resident rate is up 0.15 from last year, and the non-resident resident rate is down 0.075. So that turns into residents are $150 more per 100,000 of the assessed value. So $150 more per 100,000 of the assessed value for the residents. Non-resident is $75 lower per 100,000 of assessed value.
Can you go back one set of numbers, because I was trying to write it down. You said that the resident rate, was it up by, was it 1.65? Is that what you said?
The resident rate is up by 0.15.
Oh, okay, I got it wrong. Okay. And the non-resident was down 0.075? Okay, got it. Thanks.
So a $200,000 house, assessed value, taxes are going to go up $300 from last year. If it's a non-resident, they're going to go down $150 from last year.
we can't do anything about that, right?
Can't hear you.
We can't just be like, let's up our non-resident something and take a little extra to make their bills level and make everyone else's bills.
Of course not.
go up a little.
All through the state.
So when we take money from the fund balance, or when we make that vote,
So, well, go ahead.
what, can we put that towards a specific category, or does it have to go towards all? Can we be like, I want to use this money to reduce residential, homestead tax rates?
It did, because everyone is charged the same for the town and the highway.
Right.
It's only the education rate. So like, I
yeah.
had somebody complain because they say, oh, how much I pay the town for being a non-resident. You don't pay any different than anyone else. You
No,
pay
there's
the
no
same
what?
rate. Everyone in Groton, resident, non-resident,
Oh, to
pays
the
the
town.
town the same rate. No matter if you live here all year or you just have a house, a camp on the lake.
I don't know, I just see it out of principle, it shouldn't be like half the town's taxes are going up and half the town's tax bills are going down. That's just stupid, but that's not our decision, right?
No.
I can't take town money to make townspeople's taxes
We are
stay the
taking
same.
town money and we're putting it across the board
It
for
has to go
everybody
across
in
the board.
town.
Yeah, that's what I was making sure. We didn't have no option there to level that. All right, it's just silly. Anyway.
So the thing to remember, of course, is, so if we didn't use all that fund balance, it would go up $350 per 100,000, and non-residents would go up $125 per 100. So, but now come next year, I mean, I say this every year, you gotta keep in mind, we're not gonna have all that fund balance, right? You add all that up, what did you use out of fund balance? 260,000. Not doing that again.
Yeah,
And
that was-
so now we're gonna make up this difference and then next year's rates. So
So it's gonna jump potentially even more.
Yeah, we've been.
So the fund balance is roughly what, 270 total, something like that?
no, it's
Between the
like
two numbers?
400. Oh, what we're using? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what the select board voted on.
Last
In the
year?
budget
Or-
process.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, last
Well,
year. When do we vote again on that?
Right before doing the town report, because it goes in the town, you have to have
Yeah.
a year end.
Yeah, you have to have the year end, right?
Yeah.
So now we're just setting the rate that goes in the bills, and then we,
Yeah.
Thanks for all your work on this.
You're welcome. So, I mean, it is what it is, but,
Yeah.
you know, you're doing your part to try to help instead of just having the money sit there, so.
yeah, exactly.
So is there typically a motion to approve?
Yeah, and then you have to sign.
Yeah,
So one more thing to say is that the town rate, like I said, that across the board to everybody, actually went down 0.0875. So
oh, that's true.
when people come in and their tax bills are higher,
It's not us.
right, at least this year.
No, it's not, yeah, I know, every other year it is.
I mean, the education resident rate went from 1.74 to 1.98. I mean, that's a big jump, and you see the non-resident just went from 1.92 to 1.93.
Yeah.
So that's why it's,
Yeah, our general fund and highway rates are lower than the last 2 years.
right. That's because you use fund balance. So
Yeah.
now if you look at those years, and you see .40 and whatever, 7.2 and 7.5, and we're at 6.6, we're gonna go back to that 7.5, and then whatever increases happen for next year.
Yeah.
It'll jump. Unless magically the education rates come down. And health insurance and all the other good stuff. So if you have questions on how this gets figured, it's basically all the money we take in, we predict in revenues, gets taken off of what the budget is, and then divided by the grand list.
So I just have a question about the highway fund balance that's a negative
So that's
almost
just
25.
last year's. So if you combine all the years, they still have a couple 100,000. And it's all combined into the one,
Yeah.
which we can, I can leave you a copy of like the balance sheet, and you can see it on that. I thought
So
of
that's, in
that,
other words, that was just what was on hand December 31st, is that negative number?
no, it's just what was that year's budget. So let's say the budget was 500,000 and they used up 490,000 of it. There was 10,000 left. 10,000 would be your fund balance
Okay,
for that year.
yeah,
But if you combine all the years, so when you don't spend, when the town doesn't spend all of its budget, that
It
money
carries
goes in the
forward.
fund balance. If the town gets more in revenues than you predicted,
right,
that money goes in fund balance.
okay, okay. So it's basically the balance forward.
Yes,
Okay.
it just keeps continuing.
Okay.
I should probably change those figures to the total fund balance, and that this is just 2025.
Just the year, yeah.
Yeah,
for
that's what,
information.
because
It's not being
that's what a
calculated,
little bit
yeah.
confused me, was that it's a negative number, but then couldn't have been utterly negative because we're using
Right.
141,000.
So last year, I can't remember the figure, it was voted on, you guys decided to use whatever amount of fund balance. So that's actually a good thing. That means, a negative means you used up some fund balance.
Okay,
So there's been other years where the select board has chosen to use fund balance, and that's still a positive. So that means fund balance didn't get used up, it actually got added to.
okay. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we set the tax rate as proposed here.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? I guess all in favor of saying, do I have to say the numbers, or can we just say the tax rates, how they're proposed on the tax rate sheet for 2026? Say aye.
Aye. I was writing on
All against? Oh wait, I guess I should sign the specific one. I marked this up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, just, the new ones I gave you, they're all the.
Oh, I wrote on it, okay.
No, I don't think I wrote on mine, other than a couple dashes as I was keeping
Okay.
track of where we were. Oh, no, I put this tonight. Minutes. Oh, we got minutes to sign. All right, let's do that at the end. All right, agenda. I think we're gonna table the employee policy for another meeting, if that's okay. Can you email?
I just have a sentence of each
We
one.
just have to look, I was ready to sign it last time, I think.
Okay, can I just
Yeah.
have a minute?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So it's all about earned paid leave. So Mike had suggested a Plan A and a Plan B last meeting. And Plan A was your start date, you earn a day a month for the calendar year. So that would give you 12 days that year. And then Mike, you had suggested let's do option B to think about. Earned paid leave is credited upon 3 months or 6 months of service. After you are here a little bit, you start earning it. But I was looking at it this afternoon and realized there's a state law that we have to give part-time employees after you work 52 hours, you get a percentage of earned time. So it's calculated in NIMRIC. Like the librarian gets it, the assistant assessor gets it. It's because they work over whatever the hours are, 50 hours, I think I have it in here. But so that scenario of option B, earning it after 3 months, it will not
Well, I
work.
thought this was just for full-time employees, so it was.
Well,
Yeah.
full-time is the same. So as long as the town offers something more than what the state does, then you don't
Right.
have to do that exact, every 52 hours is 1 hour of sick time.
Yeah,
or something.
52 hours, it's right there. Just,
Okay.
So is the issue not wanting it to be used right away?
Right.
Because if that's the issue, then can't you have it still be the, whatever it
No,
was,
the
12
issue
hours
is-
per month, but you don't have access to it until you've been here 90 days, something like that?
Well, I think the one option where you start and for the first month, you have 1 day sick time, 8 hours. And then the next month, you have 8 hours. So what was happening was that first day someone was hired, they had 240 hours. so they could
Right,
start using it and.
right.
Yeah.
And it, you know, take off a ton of time in the first month that they're here. So this slows that down, so you only have 8 hours every month for 1 year. Then you can accumulate and get your chunks.
Yeah. So my suggestion was, in my municipal job, I had to wait till August 2nd to use my vacation time. Now I
But
have-
that's different,
But that's different
it's
than
two
sick.
different questions, though, how much you're getting and when you can access it.
Yeah.
Those are two different.
Well, I didn't realize it was intertwined in both. I guess I thought it was just when they could use it. Because I was like, how come I can just have to wait till August 2nd?
But that's
to take
vacation, we're not
Talking
talking
about
about
personal
vacation.
time.
Oh, we get all one, right? That was it? Or sick?
Vacation and personal sick time.
And this was personal? This is why I got confused, because I looked at mine.
So if we hired someone in the way it is now, we give him 240 hours. If he
Right
quits
off the
in
bat.
3 months,
And used up all 240 hours.
if he hasn't used it, we don't have to give it to him.
Oh, it's not.
Well,
But we ran into that with
we
a
ran into
previous
that, and select board
employee.
can make those decisions, so.
Yeah, select board had to make a decision on that, so,
But in the policy, it says no,
yeah.
but it also says select board
Yeah.
can make a
and
decision.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
case, each case different.
Right, right.
So I definitely think it should be 8 hours a
Once a
month
month.
for the first year, and then, is my feeling.
Yeah.
Let's make
yeah.
it simple, let's just,
Yeah, that's
You know.
what
Simple
we
and
said, that'd be the
legal.
Yeah.
simplest way.
It would be better for tracking if
If you-
you,
that's the
that other
easier-
way, I don't even know if NIMR could do it, I would have to, it would
yeah.
be a challenge,
And
so.
our employee turnover is pretty low.
Yes,
I
right,
mean,
right,
most people stick around for
Yeah.
some reason, so.
right.
I don't think we need to put a lot of talk into it, but I think,
Okay.
I feel the 8 hours,
Works for me.
yeah.
So earn 1 day a month for
One
the
day a
first
month.
calendar year.
Yeah, and then after
Okay, you
that,
could just make a motion that this policy will be
Make a
changed.
motion.
I make a motion that we go with the new policy that you earn 1 day a month, 8 hours for the first 12 months, and then the second year it transitions back to the
240.
240.
Yeah,
And I'll second that.
Sick or personal or both?
paid leave,
Just plain.
paid leave.
Thank you. Sorry.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
All against?
you.
Ayes have it. So,
good,
It's
behind
done,
us.
behind us. When I saw that, I panicked. I was like, I haven't looked at that.
know.
All right, I'm glad that we had
Okay,
gotten
thank
to a
you,
point
thank
there.
you.
Are we gonna do departments tonight? We've got highway to start. I see them, or should I just?
He's not coming to
All
the
right,
meeting
So we'll
tonight.
start treasurer. I'm gonna go across.
Okay. All right, so, so I sent an email to all the department heads about OSHA. OSHA is coming to towns, and so I attached the email and the checklist for facilities to start looking, and then a model safety program policy. So this is really big. I have not had an OSHA review, so I'm a little nervous on how it goes. I've had VLCT come many times, and it's always worked out pretty good, but you know, we're hearing a lot of towns are getting this surprise OSHA audit, if you call it. So I sent this to all the department heads to start looking at your areas, and when Harold popped in for a second today, I asked if he got the email because I didn't hear from anybody, and he said yes, they've already started working on it. So a lot of this pertains to highway, pertains to all of us, but there is like an eye-washing
Yeah.
center there, you know, so it's a little different
Yeah.
for highway. So he said that they've started, so that made me feel really good. I don't know if I really want to be the police of this, but I just would like some assistance on how to start working on this checklist and following the rules and the laws. So I'm up for someone to help me.
So they're gonna come in to see if we have this checklist?
No, they're gonna come and see if
They're
we're
gonna
in
come and
compliance.
check all that.
And then we'll get charged if we're not. It's not
Okay.
VLCT that doesn't charge us, it's
All right.
OSHA will charge. I
For
mean, I don't
not
know.
having-
Brent, did you ever have OSHA come when you were here? Was there charges or fines? I think they,
Usually they, on the first inspection, they give you so many days to correct.
okay,
They don't use, I think usually when we had to show up was when we had filed, someone had filed a workers' comp claim. And so, which is good, okay, so why did this person file a claim? What happened? Why, so I always felt that it triggered a workman's comp claim, if for anything, it should kind of trigger somebody to look at why did they get hurt and how can we prevent it?
Brian, do we have a written emergency action plan that we signed off on this year, right? So that's one of the requirements here. Do we have a written fire protection plan? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
About storing things in the right containers and welding.
We are inspecting annually our fire extinguishers, professionally inspected once a year, and that type of thing.
yeah, some we are doing, I'm not saying we're not doing anything.
it looks like we're
A lot
sort
of
of-
it is being done, this was a lot, and I don't want to be the sole one running around with my clipboard figuring it out, so I want someone to help me.
I always want to wait till they say they're coming, but
I
then,
don't think it works that way. I don't think, according to his email, it's like a surprise.
I've called them at places where like the fumes were so high and they wouldn't even come out to support the workers that were there. The fact that they're gonna go nitpick us and just make us do stuff is really,
Okay,
So
well,
Lisa, what do you actually, what do you need from us?
to go to each department and with me or without me and start going through the checklist. Review all the attachments and the email websites on how to do this.
Okay.
And then come up with this safety program policy. It's just a lot, and
Yeah.
I think each department should take care of their own. You should,
How about-
no one should be one person going around to everything.
I'll work with you.
you do, all right, you do the highway garage, I'll do the fire department, you get the community building, and we kind of just,
You've got the library.
got
you can do the library too.
Okay,
Vehicles would be
Yeah.
each department's, does that work? I mean,
Yeah.
all right,
I don't know, I'm sure I picked the worst one.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Because it's set up by vehicles, so like if you're doing the fire department, you have to do the vehicles category, the building, and probably the boiler room, whatever else. We don't have sprinkler systems, right?
Right.
Probably makes it worse.
Okay, thank you. So, moving on, so we don't stay here babble too much. The tax insert, I believe Mike stopped in. This is what goes in everybody's tax bill. We missed an early meeting, so when Mike stopped in, I had asked him to look at it. I usually like the select board's blessing, but it's already printed and
Okay.
stuffed, so we're done.
Thank you.
But,
Pretty cookie cutter.
and also, there's a recycling card that's going in all the tax bills for the recycling center. So just to know that Rygate made these up and dropped them off yesterday morning for me to stuff. So
Okay.
that's their responsibility,
It's
and
a
they gave it
paper
to
now,
us.
it's not a sticker. They changed it.
It's a
to
card.
card.
So watch for that.
Oh, really?
Rygate made those and dropped them off for us. They do it every year. They do the stickers, but it's cheaper than doing a sticker, and people don't really stick it on their car anyway, so they did it as.
Mine's stuck on the inside where you can hardly see it.
It's kind of coming off, but it's
And
there.
I'm a board member.
The tax bills, we're planning on mailing them for the September 1st timeline. I'm working on stuffing. Municipay is that new, it's on our insert, is our new official payments, how you can pay online. So I have a scan QR code.
Oh, boy.
That you can scan and pay. So we're really current. But that's all set up, and we've tried a couple, and.
Can you still just write checks if you're an old person?
You can still write checks.
Okay, cool.
I do that too.
I handed out the budgets.
Literally, people do that.
Everybody should have them. 58% is where we're at.
This is yours.
The town 2025 town audit is complete, and your copies are in the office for you to come and review. The annual financial questionnaire has to be done every year. Basically answer the questions and sign. Usually the chairman signs. You can go over the questions, or it's just good practices.
These are, yeah, I remember reading each of these individually last.
Right. I can leave a copy in the folder as well, whatever, but
You
it
guys
does
wanna
need
take
to
a
be
look? It's pretty.
signed.
You're doing a lot of this stuff by reviewing the binder.
Oh, okay.
And then a lot of it's like the three of us signing different things. Having a purchasing policy, right? Things like that.
Yeah. And I believe that's it. I have stuff for maintenance, but I'll wait till we get down later in the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Dorothy. Oh wait, sorry. What did I say? I was going across the room, and then this is how my brain works, actually, just so you know.
So
Carrie.
we just have another liquor license for the Old Scott Barn for October 24th. If you want to say you approve it, I can go in the system.
Yep.
Proving it.
I didn't know if it's something, I think I talked to Mike about it.
Yeah, we came up with the idea of having Carrie, we could authorize Carrie as our designee to sign off on like events and.
Because there was another one that
Came
I
up.
had to just do last week.
Yeah.
Not last week, 2 weeks ago
I'm
maybe.
fine with doing
I
that.
thought we should.
Because the
maybe-
wedding was that Saturday and the meeting got canceled and.
Oh,
No one's coming to Groton having a dry wedding under
Yeah.
my watch, so. I
I
made
was
the
thinking-
executive decision.
Just on normal things at the barn, at,
Right.
just the Upper Valley Grill and the country store,
I was gonna-
those simple ones.
I was gonna make a motion that for regular, for regular common sort of events and some of the other things, if we're not available to sign at a regular meeting, that Carrie could, be our designee for those, especially events, really.
I'd second that.
I think that works, right?
Yes.
All in favor?
I,
All right, against? Ayes have it. All right, so you can now, without, I guess, asking, but if we have a meeting coming up, obviously, we'll do the
I'll
follow
save
the
it for a meeting with
process,
this one,
but,
but if it's
you know,
something-
where we have a delayed meeting or,
That's probably all I have to talk about tonight.
all right. Dorothy, thank you.
So Dustin was not able to be here tonight. I think he emailed his report to everybody. And if you'd like him to come to another meeting, we can let him know. And if there are any other questions on the report that he sent. He did all the properties on Ricker Pond Foot Trail. He inspected those last Tuesday. Several people were at the camps and he had good response from people, so he got those all done. And the other thing that was in his report is that he has completed the level 2 certification.
Nice.
So he's got that done.
Congratulations.
And I don't know when that had done, but anyway, he is level 2 certified now.
Nice.
And the only other thing I had, Carrie and I have been talking about the new name on the old dump road. Harold came in and said, I need to order a sign. Old dump road sign is gone. The family wants it to be HB Puffer Road. And I guess it was decided that it would. It wasn't voted, it just, okay, go ahead and order the sign. There's several steps that have to be made if a town road is going to be renamed. And the 911 coordinator probably can go over those. Anything, Brent?
The name was approved many years ago. The road wasn't very active. And so, the old road commissioner was tight and he didn't buy a new sign. So it went through the process. I could go back through the minutes of the select board meeting.
Are there-
That was approved by the select board as it's supposed to be.
Are there structures on the road, or are there houses on that road?
There's two structures.
They have numbers, street numbers?
Yep. Yep.
So I have that information from Brent this afternoon, because that was my question to Harold, stopped in this afternoon. I think Dorothy, you were already gone, so I didn't talk to you yet, to find out if it went through the 911.
Yeah. It did on the map.
Yeah, I see your email back to me.
Yep.
So you made the whole road HB Puffer Road?
Yes. It's a lot less confusing
Yeah.
for us responders if you continue that road name onto the private road. That's at the end of the town road, so the whole thing is HB Puffer Road. Yep.
There was H Puffer, in the sign is HB, official
HB,
HB.
yep. Yep.
Okay, so I guess you have to change the.
Yeah, that's fine. So then 911
Done.
will know?
Done.
Okay, it's already done? Okay, thank you.
The other thing that you can check me on these is the Vermont E911 viewer. That's always current and up to date. So if you've got a question about if I've got my job done, is to look at that and see if there's been those updates, if the property has been, cited. And there's one more property, I think, that I will talk to Carrie about that hasn't been changed.
Yeah, Google Maps has it as Old Dump Road and H. Puffer Road. You pull it up.
Yeah,
Probably because they drove by with their old car and saw the sign.
Google Maps is pretty quick at grabbing that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting too, Gary went back and did a Google Maps search and found a picture that had both signs, HB Puffer and Old Dump Road on the same,
H Puffer.
H Puffer on the same sign, on the end of the road, whatever time that was that they came around and did Google Maps, so,
He said November 2024.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all that I had.
All right. Zoning. I have a question for you. I've come across this now where a couple houses, I guess on the lake, they're camps on the card, and then they're actually either have been full-time residents or they're year-round residents. And I guess the question I have is, when I'm looking, I've got some people who are just demolishing what we have on a property card as a camp and replacing it with a new home. The state's definition of camp would require them to go for like wastewater permits because they're seasonal when they upgrade to a full-time. So the change of use is like from camp to residence is something that wastewater looks at. But a lot of the houses are camps around the lake, but they're being used, like they're heated year-round, and I wasn't sure if...
If they're being used year-round, we try to get it updated to say dwelling.
Yeah.
So it's not camp anymore, but we don't always, but some of them,
Yeah, they go
some of
back.
them are winterized, but they're not there year-round. So it's kind of a gray area. But let me know which ones you're looking at, and I'll look it up.
Yeah, this one, it's just they put in a permit to replace the house that's there. I just saw camp there, and I was like, oh shoot, it's a camp. Like, so looking it up, and then I saw went to my house, and DWL, I think it says for dwelling, and so I was like, all right, what's the difference here? And the camp and I figured that was the case, is that some people are there all, maybe a year or two where they're there for the full year, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and we don't know.
Unless we have a reason to look at that property, we might not realize that hasn't been upgraded.
Yeah.
And a lot of that will get done during the reappraisal.
Yeah, it's something we should focus on for the reappraisal.
Yeah.
Because this person that I talked to, and I said, have you talked to the state about a permit? If you're going from seasonal, your house was built as a seasonal camp with a certain septic, you know, the people that built it didn't build it for, you know, now a 3-bedroom house that's being lived in year-round. And he's like, well, someone's lived in this house year-round for over a decade. And I was like, oh, geez, like, how, you know, and this was in 2003, and then he'd lived there for 3 years. And so,
And see, if that information didn't get updated in 2019 when they did a reappraisal, hopefully we'll catch it in
Yeah.
2027, 2029, so.
if it makes you feel better, in 2019, they was not there year-round. So, you know, it could have just been that. But I just needed for, in my zoning, subjectiveness of zoning permits, you know, whether or not to tell them that requires them to go to the state or not. I just needed to know that it shouldn't hinge on specifically what it says that for camp on the card, but more on like what the heating systems are and if it's heated year-round, if it's been lived in year-round as
Yeah,
well.
and then, yeah, we are trying to get all of those updated, but it just, unless we actually look at them for something else, we might not catch it.
I'll email you and Jason about a couple that come in that I had a question about. One I was already through, and the other, this one that I'm working on now, I think will be okay, but, cool, thanks. Otherwise in zoning, we've got, oops, sorry, go.
911.
Yeah,
The designation needs to be updated on those maps also, the 911 maps.
who do you contact for that?
Me.
So for,
So if you're gonna change stuff, Dorothy, let me know, then I'll go in and change the symbols on
that makes sense, because if you had some sort of issue or you had to get an area out, you would know who was in or what use. Yeah, that's good to know. I have another, did that?
Have your people call me, my
The one on Goodfellow, does she have 911? She does.
So, why do we have to be updated on 911? Just so that we know, so that 911 knows it's a year-round residence? Is that?
That's what, if it's a year-round residence, then it should show that in the database.
Okay, I gotta look at 911 and see how that's noted, but I'll follow up on that.
It's all by symbols. It's all by symbols. Yeah.
The other, so we're getting a lot of zoning permits. I've got 1 or 2 to post tonight. I have a subdivision permit as well. Have you gotten payment for a subdivision permit? Okay, good. Because it came in June to the planning email. And so I have to get them where the application isn't enough to put forth before the board yet or collect a fee, but
We have a survey?
they don't. They haven't provided one. It's like a handwritten what they want to do. So I just got to talk to them and see if they have a survey. But Emily was on the email, so she knows this is on her radar at least, because this is something that would go before the board or for the planning commission for review. But my job as zoning administrator is to make sure that they have everything they need before they get there. And do I do the notices for that too? For this, or is that the planning board's responsibility? Okay. All right, that I think is all for zoning. Constable, do you have anything? Any news there? Fire Fest.
The only thing tonight, we're doing a training, the folks from the DART helicopter program are here, and so they're doing a program in the fire station now. It's like a lot of departments, there must be 6 or 8 departments here, and then if the weather's good and if the helicopter's not busy, then they'll be landing at Puffer Field later in the evening, probably closer to 7. So it's been probably 4 or 5 years since we did the training the last time. I was really pleased to see those 6 guys come in and get more chairs.
Yeah, nice.
That was great. I told them before I came over here, I said, we're having the meeting, you need to go get chairs, and he came and got 4. So then the other 6 guys came and got more chairs, so that's good. That means they got a good crowd.
Yeah, they could have taken a set of bleachers probably. I still like the bleachers. Well, that's great. I think, anything else on Fire Fest? No. Grants? I mean, MERP, we know what's going on.
Yeah. So all this is done out here that they did with that FEMA money that was given to all the towns that had had FEMA things, and they gave us a little chunk of money to be used. So all that, the new stairs at this door here and the walkway around and all that was paid for with that. And now they're working in the kitchen. That's why we're not down in the kitchen tonight, because they're doing that wall, that outside wall of the kitchen. Lime Green Heat's been here plugging away. I think they're still waiting on the boilers or whatever they're called to come. Two new actual, like everything is kind of ready just for those to come in and get hooked up.
I think they can't wait to get those here, because our contract was, those go through the door, we get an invoice, so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they show up, they, you know,
I
and plug
would-
away. They're gonna need Wi-Fi or run a wire. Cause it's all, you know, where they can, that's how they can see all the stuff.
Is there Wi-Fi down there?
They don't need Wi-Fi, they gotta run a wire to
right.
the,
Speaking of that, Gary's coming tonight to finish hooking up the NEK broadband. It was a big deal when they started to do it, and this building is kind of a nightmare, so they only could get it so far.
Yeah.
And Gary's gonna work on finishing. It could take an hour, but it could take up to 4 hours for him to get it all done, and he's starting tonight. Fire department is hooked up and highway is hooked up, so it's good. It's just, community building was a
building.
lot.
Yeah.
They were very baffled when they got here. Had to call Gary several times because Gary's crawled through this building with stuff. So I think Gary was helpful, but they were really, one guy actually said, I gotta take a break. I gotta take a walk. And he's like, this was a lot. So, but yeah, hopefully it won't be so bad for Gary.
I
Yeah.
guess the 2 gigabytes, we're not gonna be that though. because
Yeah, our
the-
computers can't handle
Oh, the
that.
computers can't handle it. Oh. It's not like the phone company where it's like, oh, you're too far from something or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just computers. Oh, geez. So
Ours are fairly
we'll get a
new.
better deal or whatever when that 2 years is up or whatever.
Yeah.
So on MERP, oh shoot, I gotta write them an email. I have a grant agreement amendment to sign. I negotiated in a ceiling fan for this
Oh, good.
room, which now we're sitting in it, it feels like it could use one. So we have they want to know just an estimate, so we should ask Sparky D. It has to go in the grant just up to X amount or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know what, just like a large fan, I would assume.
I can't do it till next week.
And I'll start looking too.
Handle it.
I know. Well, they told us they could hold these big air handlers for the other system. And they went up there for the solar too.
1, 2 ceiling fans?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
All right.
It looks like, well, with this big hole here, I don't know if you can mount one there, maybe one in the middle.
I don't know.
Over center court would be one big one. I don't know, I'm not a ceiling fan expert. Do we know anyone who has any experience in ceiling fans? No, probably not, so it's gonna be us. So yeah, I'm happy to work with Doug or
Okay.
Deb,
Yeah.
or just get an estimate.
Put a cage around it.
There's a leak in the gym bathroom in the ceiling, and I asked Rickers when they were here if they could take a look to see what it is. They found out it's the vent that goes out. They can fix it, and they're going to fix it, and then repair all the sheetrock in the ceiling. But he's gonna fix it and then wait for rain to come and then come back and see if they really fixed it. So they're on it and very grateful that they can fix it. I mean, I don't know how long it's been there, but it needs to be
I'm
fixed.
glad they were here too.
I know, it's wonderful. I met with the mowing guy, Chris Bruce, this morning about him mowing the additional areas, like mowing up to this old foundation, mowing behind the garden in that wet area. He said he can even go on top.
Okay.
He said that he can go down the back side. He said he's gonna get us a price, he can do all of it with his mower, and if he can't, he would weed whack sections, and he even said that he could take on brush hogging those that area out back if we wish to, once or twice. He said spring and fall, that Murray Logging and Landscaping did. But, you know, he's gonna get us prices.
Yeah. Good.
And so Murray Logging Landscaping was hired to complete this whole back. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's all cleaned up. It looks fabulous. They did a great job. And I believe they're gonna start working in the 2 ball fields, working on trees or brush. And I just wanted the annual workers' comp audit. There is a lapse with hiring them with a contract in their insurance, so we'll have to deal with that in the spring with VLCT, with the workers' comp audit that's done annually. But I guess that was it.
We got an email today from USDA, the work behind Upper Valley Grill.
EWP.
Yeah, the Emergency Watershed Protection Grant. So $50,000 or whatever, they were giving us 37, we were pitching in 12, 13. I was under the assumption they were just doing everything, and I guess all they do is just get us to the point of the permit, which was a lot. There were engineers and site visits and surveying and all sorts of stuff. And now they're like, okay, you got your permit, put it out to bid. You got until
End of the year.
So it's $50,000, someone to clear all the debris from behind bills. We have the money set aside for our portion. It's under the it's in the threshold where we can target 3 contractors and just get bid. Just tell them at $50,000. I don't know why we have to bid this out. And you have $50,000 to do this. If someone says yes, you just award it to them the first place. But that's not how we're supposed to do it. We're supposed to get bids and pick the best one and everything. So I don't know, we should, I'll draft up something with the permit and just.
And we have to have it done by what date?
I think
November?
it's the watershed, like you have to be out of the water by X date. I think it's October 1st.
So
Someone needs to get in there and just truck it's the debris out. It's not
Yeah.
even the rocks, it's just the debris and just get
So
it out of there. And we have town property they can bring it to. I mean, Harold might not be happy with it, but just get it out. And then that's the job.
Yeah.
I think the technicalities of it is it's surveyed. So the grant is for the permit is for them to remove what's there down to an elevation that is from 2016 or something. I don't know how, I guess they look at a plan and know how deep to dig and, so I don't know. I'll have to look at everything. I signed the permit. I should have probably gave it more of a.
But we gotta get it out in the paper soon.
I think we'll have to look at the simplified bid process. It's only $50,000 worth of work.
Yeah.
So we have simplified bid. We may only need to run the paper and then just contact 3 and then just, if we, set a quick deadline, get someone.
Steve would bid on it.
Yeah.
Murray. He could do it.
Is it an excavator that goes on it?
I would think it has to be, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then it just has to be trucked somewhere. It's not like contaminated or dirty or anything. It's just like wood and, it's mostly the wood and trees and junk that's just in there. I'm sure there's terms to the permit of like when you can do it after rains and whatever stuff, but.
Well, good, at least you're doing something.
We just got that email today, so I'll get some details into an email. I have to give you guys, I think, my new phone number.
Okay.
I actually have another
don't
thing,
think
the
I did.
highway truck, are we gonna advertise to try to sell that? What do you-
He's
I
got
don't
it
know where-
on, I think, did he put that on?
I don't know if he had, I haven't
Website,
seen him
Venus?
for a couple of weeks, but he was gonna reach out to one of the truck dealers and see where he should advertise it.
I think it's on this website, shopgarage.com right now. And it's like, you could set it at a much higher price than what he thinks he could get locally. Well, I'm pretty sure it is for sale, online. He went to,
Okay, I just.
what's the truck company in, St. Albans, Milton? Charlie Boys?
Charlie.
He went to Charlie Boys and they said, Harold, you're better off putting it on this website, and gave him information on the website and amount that they told him he could put it up on the website for was more than we expected to get for it, minus what they shave off. You know, it still worked out, so he's given that a shot first, I think was the plan. When did I talk to him about that? A couple weeks ago, probably. Is that all the grants?
And you submitted the inspection report,
Yes. I
so
did.
that's all submitted, everything they wanted?
That one's done. Yeah.
Okay, I printed it off.
That was from a grant in 1987, so we have to deal with things from grants from 1987 every year. Just so you guys know.
The state of Vermont closeout, we need to set a date, so look at your calendar and set dates. Some
Tentatively
morning.
next Thursday morning.
Next Thursday? Okay,
Tentatively next Thursday, but
Alright.
if anything before then.
okay, all
But
right,
let's tentatively put it on Thursday.
okay. So that is, oh, it's tax bill week, but, okay, the 27th, that's fine.
We're experts at this point.
Okay,
I'll try and do it sooner. So that would mean tax bill week. Try and do it this week, if I can. If I see your car here early
no,
in the morning,
I'm out the rest of the week, so,
nice, enjoy.
Yeah.
Prepared for tax bill week.
Yeah,
I
right.
gotcha. All right, so we're going Thursday,
the 27th.
27,
Yeah.
probably AM for close out. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, anything from the library on their grant? How's that going?
Working on it, saw them on the roof.
It's coming along swimmingly.
Cool.
Almost
That's
all the
curious.
windows have been replaced, the new air handler system is installed. The big things that still will be coming up will be the roof replacement, and a lot of exterior work on the porch, and other places where there's rotten wood that needs to be.
Yeah, repaired,
But-
replaced.
They still have to install a generator and bring in.
That's true. Yeah, I've sort of lost the thread of when that's supposed to be coming in, but yeah, you're right.
Did they got that with the grant also?
Yeah,
The generator and the propane tank?
yeah.
Generator should be doing that for power at home.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and what they've done inside where they added the air handling system looks great.
Does it
It's up,
upstairs?
it's up in the loft area.
I used to love having meetings up there.
Yeah, it looks really nice. And I mean, you can tell the difference in the sound with the
Yeah.
new windows. It's quieter inside the
Oh, really?
building.
Nice.
Mhm. And of course, it's nice and cool.
It's not like warm and sticky upstairs. right?
No, the whole building is nice and cool. It's really nice.
All right, cool. Anything else on grants? No. All right, other business, public.
I was gonna check on that spigot that we were gonna put out here. How's that coming?
Just wondering about that.
I don't.
That one, why wasn't one put in? Because that was,
We could have public, so public could get water here and not go through our treatment system.
didn't we talk about that last?
Yeah, I mean, our plumber got hurt, didn't
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was it.
he? And it never got done.
never got done.
So that is needed for the garden too, because their water line goes across the building.
Right, now it's for over here.
No, I'm saying they need to tap that same water.
Yeah, Bob was already looked into trying to get it this way,
Can't
couldn't
get
do
it.
it.
Can it go that way at the back?
I don't know. I thought the answer was up the stairs.
And they couldn't use, they
Up
can't use
the stairs?
That little company.
Yeah, I thought that was the answer.
That was the easiest access. to get.
up the stairs right back here. Yeah, makes sense. And that was for the public to get
So
water.
who can we get to do that?
Well, you can ask Aiken if you
Is he
can.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, that's what we had planned,
Yeah.
and then he got hurt or something, I forget
Yeah.
what. And you and Dan Webster were gonna do
We're
something.
gonna help if we need
Yeah.
some help,
Yeah.
because he was hurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Actually, I thought it,
And back to Elbert.
Okay, I can reach out to Aiken next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Vermont alert.
I already have it.
You got it?
I have the monitor.
Yeah. So we can have Vermont alert. It's all paid for, the system's all there. And I'll just leave these with you. You don't have to make a decision tonight, but I think as emergency management director, I recommend that we sign up for the system, and then if there's something that the town wants to notify the public on,
Yeah.
you need a public information officer. It should be an official of the town.
Yeah.
We don't want to appoint somebody somewhere that doesn't know what's going on. So that's going to give some thought to who the board wants to appoint as that official person for them. So you can put that on your agenda and figure that out. But that's it's a very good system. It doesn't cost us anything. So if, like we had 2 shutdowns of Powder Spring Road, right?
Pardon?
I said we had 2 times in this summer that Powder Spring Road was shut down. And so we could post, the public official could post that
And then that goes to 511 and the maps and the Twitter that goes out that says when a road is closed. 'Cause we never get on that. I've never seen the alert that's like something's closed in Groton.
Yeah, during FEMA,
Because we don't have.
during FEMA, the state put it
Well,
on.
yeah, that was like.
But, and she did check with, she did also check with when we had the incident here, why that never showed up on anything.
Yeah.
Okay, people couldn't get through 302.
Yeah.
So she did check, and the information is on this email about how to do that. So, the other thing that I think is, that I wanted to bring up was the, parking lot at Bow Beach in the closed. I mean, Lakeside in the closed. And that was given to the town in the memory of my Uncle Earl, who was a town servant for years. So I understand why that was done. I'm not here to say you did the wrong thing, but I would like to ask the town to erect a permanent sign identifying that location as a memory of him.
So this is the parking lot on Lakeside Drive that we put up signs that says no parking?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with no parking? You just
No,
want a
I mean,
sign?
I understand. We have a lot of resources, we have a lot of things in town.
Yeah.
And it's only been 60 some odd years. Things change.
Yeah.
So the town, as our former chairman of the board said, we've got to change. We've got to move ahead. I mean,
Yeah.
but I would like a sign erected up there saying that this was the former site, or however you want to word it.
What is the history of it? So that was a parking area for like people to launch boats right
It was
off.
given to the town from the Welches,
Yeah.
so that people could have a place to park.
Get out.
Okay, so if they wanted to go up and see somebody, it wasn't as developed
Yeah.
in '63. So if they wanted to go up and visit somebody, they didn't have, there was no place to park.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was a place that the community could park, and that was, it's been 60 some odd years. That's fine.
Well, Brent, if you want to put together a little snippet of how you would like the memory sign to look, I can go to the sign person that we've used in the past that
Yeah, I
does
think it'd be
it.
nice, it would be nice to have something.
Do we need to adjust the parking signs, like resident parking only, or? No one
leave
parks
that
there
the way it
anymore.
is.
Leave it, right? Like,
You know,
because
But up to this point, who knew that was
no one.
your
Well,
relative, who was it, your grandfather, or
no, it was my uncle.
your uncle, or?
Uncle Earl was a listing town for
Yeah,
decades.
and so no one knew that he had, I mean, the younger generation.
1963.
Yeah, well, some did, but yeah, no, that's,
I think the town needs to be, as, working with planning, I think the town needs to move. You know, and just because this property has been used for this for all these years, doesn't mean it can't change.
Yeah.
Okay? It doesn't mean that now we don't, it isn't feasible. We're putting the lake in danger, by having that. And so I think you guys did the right thing, but I would like something that signifies.
I mean, also for turning around plow and stuff, and there is now alternative parking in the winter at Boulder Beach. So, you don't want some, a snowmobile trailer parked in there in the winter and get down there, plow truck. Yeah. So I think you're right. Well, we should recognize that. I enjoy those little tidbits of history,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
We
Work
will
on it.
Okay.
get us what you want and we'll get it done.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, we're very sign happy when it comes to Lakeside Road right now. Lakeside Drive.
And we learned something tonight.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it's all
About a
about.
place I walked my dog to like Monday night. So.
Thank you, Brent.
Thanks.
All right, anything else?
There's orders to be signed. I don't know if Larry has seen the folder yet to sign.
All right, before I make any
The
motion.
ball field, you didn't hear from Mike Joslin, right? Because I want to move forward with getting Steve up to Frost Field, cutting some trees.
Downstairs.
We're gonna run out of time. I wanted to see where he was gonna be with his number to do Puffer
Sign a
Field.
whole bunch of minutes.
Just have to be another year,
Oh, I guess not.
And
unless he magically comes. And
this one you don't need to sign.
I won't be here next week. So,
So we've got, we'll put the ball fields on the next agenda, or,
well, I just
Keep it
think
on the follow-up
we've-
stuff.
Yeah, we're just not getting response from the gentleman that can fix the fields up, but we do have some trees in the outfield out at Frost Field that we can get done. And I think we could find someone locally maybe that could help fix up the outfield, bring in some material. Harley. I will. He's usually pretty good for me.
It's pretty good for you.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to what.
But anyways, we gotta move forward with, use some of that.
we want any, so we don't sign this one. We're just,
Okay.
we'll sign them all, right? If you're not at it, doesn't matter.
I think
We're just
that
gonna
has
sign.
to
We
do with,
approved
like,
it as a board.
Yeah.
All right, hearing anything else? Call this meeting to adjournment. Or do I have to make a motion for adjournment? You guys accept? Yep, all right, great. Did you blow the whistle again? No?
No,
Okay,
you
I
don't have
won't.
to blow it.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, yeah.